So is electric circuits the hardest topic in Year 12 A-level physics? Well, many of my students request that we go through this topic as one of the first topics that they want to work on with me. So students who are having one-to-one lessons, for example. And they've identified it as being one of the more difficult topics from Year 12. And that could be based on the assessments that they've had. And so what are the reasons for that? And what is it that makes circuits perhaps seem more difficult than other topics in A-level physics? And what can you do if you feel that's you struggle with electric circuits? The first reason why I think electric circuits is more difficult than other topics such as mechanics is that the students have less sort of everyday experience of concepts such as potential difference, electric current and resistance, and charge and so on. Whereas in the mechanics topic, there are kind of everyday experiences of forces acting and changes in motion, etc., which they can relate to and refer to. We're dealing with something that's happening on a microscopic level, and we're trying to use models really in electric circuits to describe what's happening there. And another reason why I think it can be challenging to pick up at A level is very often at GCSE, the topic is reduced to a set of equations, and and that's understandable because at GCSE the students obviously need to be able to answer the GCSE questions in the exams, which are very often relying on them choosing the correct equation and just using that equation to calculate the correct answer. And that's all fine, and it's good preparation for A-level, but what then tends to be lacking when students start A-level is, there can be a gap in their understanding of the concepts. And that then leads to a number of problems because they will feel that they'll look at a circuits question and they'll feel that they don't know where to start. And very often there's a little bit of reasoning or problem solving required, which itself relies on understanding the concept fully. And very often that reasoning and that problem solving is needed before the students can then select the correct equation and solve the problem what that question is asking. So what can students do about that? Well, one thing is I would tend to avoid using textbooks for electric circuits simply because it can't easily be taught and learnt from a textbook. What I would suggest instead is that the students, to develop their problem solving skills, that they start with sets of questions, and those questions might start with GCSE level questions but would then build up to A level questions, and perhaps even throwing in some Isaac physics questions as well, which are excellent for problem solving. And by focusing on questions, the student is then focusing on the problem solving skills and the logical reasoning skills and knowledge of things like mathematical skills, ratios and proportionality, etc., which are needed in electric circuits. The focus on those skills will then develop the student's exam question capability in the subject, and they'll then start to get better at A-level physics questions on electric circuits.